In today's video, let's start discussion about a very recent question on substantive procedures of September-December 2023 attempt. The question is of Latte company. So let's start reading the scenario for which we are doing one part. Let's read the requirement first. So the requirement is describe substantive procedures the auditor should perform to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence in relation to Latte company's provision for the legal claim. Okay, so examiner requires you to write procedures about the provision of the legal claim, guys, which is itself an accounting estimate. And for a second, without looking at the scenario, I know what's the problem with the accounting estimate, because here management's judgment is involved, and I'm doubtful about the judgment of the management in respect of competence and in respect of biasness. So I think that management could have made a judgment of this provision, which is not on true and fair basis. Okay, and or might be they do not have the required competence to make an appropriate amount of provision for the legal claim. So let's start reading the scenario, what it says. This scenario relates to 4 requirements. It is 1st July 2005. You are an audit supervisor with MN Company, currently working on the final audit of Latte Company, a supplier of catering equipment. All right. For the year ended 31st March 2005, Latte Company is a listed company with total assets of 22.7 million and profit before tax of 3.2 million. You are responsible for finalizing the audit field work in respect of the following. All right, so we have to write at least 4 correct procedures in order to obtain 4 marks. So let's read what it says about the provision for legal claim. A former employee of Latte Company has made a claim of 0.6 million against the company in respect of an injury suffered while operating equipment which did not have the correct safety equipment installed. All right, very important scenario. The directors have recognized a provision of 0.25 million in the current year financial statements, which is the maximum amount they are willing to pay to settle the claim. So guys, start writing the procedures. In this scenario, on maximum you can obtain 6 marks. You could write 6-mark procedures, but she only requires you to write 4 procedures to get 4 marks. So for the very first mark, very first and easiest mark, so for one easy mark, guys, you can write, hey, you should obtain the copy of claim made by the employee. And why will you take that? To understand the basis for the claim and the amount claimed. Okay, so you can also obtain the copy of the claim made by the employee, and also you can check the correspondence with that employee, right? So, and review correspondence with employee to understand the basis of claim made and the amount claimed. So we want to know what is the basically original amount that was being claimed by the employee. You'll get 1 mark to write this procedure. Always follow a technique of word plus what plus why. Always start writing your procedure with the verb and then write what are you doing basically? So I am basically obtaining the copy of the claim and I am checking the correspondence with the employee. And why? To understand the basis of claim and the amount of claim. Your examiner says if you do not write by of each substantive procedure, you're not going to get any mark. Okay, so please be very careful while you are writing your procedures. So by writing this first point completely, I have obtained 1 mark, right? Then for another mark, we'll get external confirmation from the lawyers of the company, okay? So because this is a legal claim, so I'll contact with the lawyer and I'll obtain the external confirmation again. Why? To confirm about the probability of outflow of economic benefits and about the success of the claim, okay? So you can write one complete point to obtain external confirmation from lawyer to confirm the probability and amount of provision. Full stop. You'll get another mark. So till now, you will get 2 out of 4. Okay. So for one more mark, you can write that inspect board minutes. When you will inspect board minutes, you'll know that what is the management thinking about whether the payment is probable and the basis for the provision. So we want to know about the basis of provision of management, why they are recording the provision of 0.6 million and not more. Okay, so what are the basis? So when you will inspect board minutes, you'll understand the basis of this provision. Okay, because if this matter is being discussed in the board meeting, this would have been mentioned in board minutes as well. Okay, so inspect relevant board minutes with finance director. To understand their basis of provision. Okay, so provision was of 0.25 million. This was the amount that was claimed originally. So to understand the basis of provision of 0.25 million, okay? Then a very important procedure for one more mark, you can write that you can check post-year-end event. So what will be the post-year-end event in this case? So after 31st March 2025, you are sitting in 1st July. So it might happen that there is a post-year-end payment when the outcome of the case is made. So let's say if the company has paid 4 million rather than 0.25 million, you'll say, or if they have paid 0.8 million rather than 0.25 million, you can say that this was an adjusting event, right? Because obligation was existing at the year end. Okay, so we have to then adjust this provision to the amount that was being made. Okay, so very important, you should review post year end event. In this case, post year end event will be the payment. So you can check post year end bank statement. To identify the payment in respect of provision. And you can compare the actual payment with the provision to assess whether the provision was reasonable. So as it was a accounting estimate, you can also discuss with the management for one more mark, very easy mark, that what are the basis, method, or assumptions used while creating a provision of 1.5 million. Again, why? To assess the reasonableness of their provision. Then obtain the written representation from the management to assess the reasonableness of the provision. Review the financial statements to check the disclosures in respect of this provision as complete and adequate. So more than 4 marks. When you will write these 4 procedures, you'll get 4 out of 4, but you can write even more procedures. I am trying to tell you that. Okay, so this was it. This is how you should, solve this question. And that's it, guys. See you in the next session.